My name is Judy Vaughn. I am the Family Consumer Science Agent in Estill County, and today we are going to be presenting Savor the Flavor, Building Flavor with Herbs. The things that we are covering today are: what are herbs, the benefits of using herbs, fresh versus dried, substitutions of fresh and dried herbs, 6 common herbs used in the kitchen, other common herbs that we use, and considering the cost and quality of the herbs that you purchase. Herbs come from the leaves of plants and can be used either fresh or dried for culinary purposes. They provide a new dimension of flavor to meals that are prepared at home. The benefits of using herbs in our cooking: so we don't have to use as much salt and saturated fat. We get plenty of flavor from our herbs, and they can add a variety of taste to some of the recipes that we use every day. Dried herbs are also shelf stable. They're cost effective, or you can grow your own quite easily. Talk about fresh versus dried herbs. Fresh herbs can be purchased at farmers markets, the grocery store, or grown at home. Store them in a refrigerator for a week or so once they are cut from the plant, and you incorporate them at the end of the cooking process or as a garnish right before serving. Dried herbs are purchased at the grocery store, or you can dry them at home yourself. They are often stronger and more concentrated in taste. Store in airtight container for 1 to 3 years in a cool, dry place out of sunlight. Do not store them close to your stove. Incorporate earlier in the cooking process to allow flavors to infuse into your dish. The recipe calls for fresh herbs, but you only have dried available. No problem. You can substitute 1/3 of the amount the recipe calls for using the dried version. For example, you could use 1 tablespoon of fresh basil or 1 teaspoon of dried basil for pasta sauce. 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons. You also remember that for the dried herb, you add them during the cooking process, and the fresh herb you add towards the end of the cooking process. Let's start talking about 6 of the most common herbs that we use in our everyday cooking. Basil. Basil originated in India and is now grown around the world. You usually see it used in Italian foods and Thai dishes. It's typically used fresh to add a crisp, refreshing taste and adds a green color to brighten a dish. Basil is a main ingredient in pesto. It's blended with walnuts or pine nuts, olive oil, garlic, and Parmesan cheese. Other dishes include sauces, dressings, or as a garnish. Chop up finely before adding to sauces or dressings to allow the oils to be released and fused into the dishes. Oregano. This herb is a well-known Mediterranean and Italian herb. The bold, peppery flavor makes it excellent for using in pizza and pasta sauces, salad dressings, soups, and vegetable dishes. It can also provide a comforting, savory flavor. It is mostly used in the dried form. If you're new to using herbs, parsley is a good first choice because it pairs well with any dish except for desserts. It is very common and versatile, used in various cuisines. It is a clean, fresh taste that can be used in fresh or dried forms. Curly parsley is the most variety found in the United States. Chopped dried parsley is found in almost all herb blends and seasonings. Rosemary. Rosemary originated in the Mediterranean region and is widely used in Italian and Greek dishes. It is used in both fresh and dried forms. It is strongly aromatic, which contributes to the taste experience. Rosemary is a nice addition to potatoes, bread, olive oil, lemon-flavored dishes and soups. Rosemary, parsley, and thyme are often used together to season chicken or broth-based soups. You need to crush or chop rosemary leaves before adding them to the dish, and you also need to take the leaves off the stem before using them. Sage. This herb originated in the Mediterranean. It is traditionally used dried in stuffing mixes with dried cubed bread, onion, and celery. It is sometimes used in sausage seasoning and makes a nice addition to lasagna and other pasta dishes. Sage pairs well with citrus flavors like orange or lemon in salad dressings and desserts. It does not pair well with other herbs because of its strong flavor. Thyme. Thyme originated in the Mediterranean region also. The flavor pairs well with rosemary, but is great on its own as well. This strong, versatile, slightly sweet taste of the thyme has many applications, making it a great addition to your kitchen. It is found in pizza and pasta sauces, used with all types of meat, poultry, fish, and vegetables. Other common herbs include cilantro, mint, and bay leaves. Each of these have distinct aromas and flavors. Cilantro is commonly used fresh as garnish on Mexican or Latin-inspired dishes. Mint is highly aromatic and is typically used fresh. It is associated with fruits, teas, candies, and jellies, as well as Middle Eastern cuisine because of its sweet flavor. Bay leaves are commonly used in their whole, dried form, and in dishes with long, slow cooking times like soups, stews, and sauces. They are not enjoyable to eat, so they are typically removed prior to consumption of the dish. You don't want one of your guests biting into a bay leaf. Many herbs are blended together and sold as seasonings, such as Italian seasoning or poultry seasoning. You can easily make your own at home. I wonder why some dried herbs and spices cost more than others. Is there truly a difference between lower and higher priced products? The answer is not simple. You may want to choose a lower priced product if you're learning how to incorporate herbs and spices into the dishes, or you want to experiment with new flavors. You may want to choose a higher priced product if you truly enjoy an herb or spice and will use it before the best if used by date. However, these dates are provided for quality purposes only. Some herbs and spices may be labeled as organic, which may cost more, but this does not mean the flavor or nutritional value is different than products not labeled as organic. Recipe for fresh corn salad is a very good recipe. We've made it several times. I've made it and taken it to the farmer's market. It calls for 5 ears of fresh corn, but if you don't have fresh corn, you can always use frozen. Just have to thaw it out. And then it has a half cup of freshly chopped basil that you would add at the end. If you don't have fresh chopped basil, you can add dried basil by substituting 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of dried. And you would put that in right as you do your vinegar, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Add the dried basil then instead of at the end. Thank you for watching the Savor the Flavor Cooking with Herbs. And I hope you enjoy going out and presenting it to the rest of your homemakers. Have a great day. Thank you.